Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Two Girls, One Ticket with Lauren and Brogan. We're glad you're here.
Hello, hello. How is everyone doing this week?
It's a great start to the week.
We finally got a cold front here in Austin, so now it's scarves. Last week it was turtlenecks. But no, I'm excited to be here with you, Lauren.
We're layering. We're not going backwards.
Well,
We're
no,
going to have a little bump in temperatures, and I'm not going back. It's winter.
I agree. And we're putting the ice rink down at the Four Seasons pool now, so I'm super excited about the ice radio.
The lights are so beautiful. They leave some of the lights up year round, but when it's all done for Christmas and the tree goes up, it's beautiful.
My favorite's that big cowboy boot with diamonds that says Four Seasons across it. It's very Texas.
Very Texas. A little more Dallas than Austin.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a packed week to unload. We are going to talk about investing in women's sports, little LPGA, PGA discussion, firing of Nico Harrison, jewelry trends set by athletes. It's the end of an era for the Rose Bowl. I know you're going to have some opinions on that.
No, very sad.
Guess at Kris Kardashian's 70th birthday. We can guess who that's going to be. Ongoing trouble for Brian Kelly. Giants now in need of a head coach. Just a lot of things going on.
I'm excited.
Never a dull moment. Let's start off with a question. If you were going to own or invest in a women's professional team in the U.S., what sport would it be and why?
I think that's a very good question. I know it ties into a lot of the conversations we've had previously. I would probably choose professional pickleball. And I wanted to ask if you would be offended because I know you're a tennis player. So
I think pickleball is a good one. I would say that there aren't any women's only pickleball teams. They're all mixed. But I do think as far as a sport, it's a good thing to invest in. Coming from tennis, I think it's a totally different game. I enjoy it. I don't think I see it as
it's a little below your level.
Much as, well, I mean, not even that. It's kind of a totally different game. And there are people that are just starting pickleball with no former tennis experience, and that's all they know. But I have a lot of friends that have transitioned from tennis to pickleball, and they're just all pickleball now. They wouldn't even go back to tennis.
It's one of the fastest growing sports in America right now. All ages can play. You see older people playing. You see super young people playing. It doesn't take as much athleticism, and excuse me for all my pickleball players out there. They said last year there was 36 million people who played. Obviously, the growth means a huge audience, but professional side is still young, so a lot of room for investors to kind of shape the market. I think that's what's kind of makes it exciting for me, and that's why I mentioned that. But super low cost to entry, compared to major leagues, smaller markets, startup leagues. There's the PPA. I think there's like the MLP and the APP. They're all looking for investors right now, especially to, help branding and the facilities and all the things that come around it. But also I was looking into it, and there's investors like Tom Brady and dare I say LeBron.
The big L.
Yeah, the big L. But they've bought into pickleball teams, so that's pushing a lot of visibility right now. There's a lot of women's influencers. They're kind of pushing this healthy fitness lifestyle brand that brands are reaching out to and trying to push as well. So that's I think what kind of makes it exciting from my end.
The growth is tremendous, already trending that way. I just have a hard time envisioning from a spectator side, how big are these audiences actually going to be that are watching it? I know a lot of people are going to be involved. I get, like we said, bringing the right people, the right message, regardless of what it is or what the sport is really helpful. So having Tom Brady and LeBron and all these big people and big companies that are putting money into it are definitely going to help. But I'll be curious to see how it scales as far as spectators and the events themselves and fan interaction, engagement. Like, what are they going to do at those tournaments to bring people? And it could be influencers and things like you said, people trying to push product, be the trendy thing. Obviously, it's current. Everyone's talking about it. So I think all of those things will help drive it. But I think it would be a good investment.
I'm from Orange County, so I don't know if you're familiar. They've got what's the club called? The sports club? Lifetime. They've got a huge Lifetime, and they've got hundreds of pickleball courts. It's my dad's social club that he loves. So I've seen a couple pickleball tournaments, and it is super exciting. I mean, they definitely get into it, and I love the mixed doubles.
Yes, I like that. aspect of it, and I do like that it's quick. It's
Yes.
easy to follow, and it's quick. No
Yep.
timeouts, no anything, just straight up competition.
Exactly. But what about you? Where would you invest?
I'm going to go with soccer. I think that was probably not what you were expecting me to say.
No, you tennis gal over there.
I know, but there's not really a tennis league. I mean, they've tried it. There's been different variations, but it's never really stuck. I think that I would say soccer, National Women's Soccer League to be specific. Women's soccer players are considered to be some of the best women's athletes in terms of athleticism, the competitive balance. I think as a spectator, the athleticism and the actual style of play is very in line with men's compared to other sports that, like we talk about, some you just cannot compare. And I think that the physicality of soccer and the action and all of it is just very similar to me. The high intensity, the style. Years ago, I went to a Portland Thorns game when Alex Morgan was playing. I mean, this was so long ago. And I couldn't believe it. It was a very cool stadium, very, right in the middle of downtown Portland. Amazing atmosphere. Obviously, they're one of the most valuable franchises, but I was stunned at the atmosphere, the energy around the team, the level of play. I've also been to a few UT women's soccer games over the years. And every time I think they're free for one. And I'm thinking, why do more people not come to these games? The level of competition, and they're incredible athletes and just strong. So I think soccer is going to be my answer. And
wow. If you monetize those games, though, maybe the fans won't show up.
I mean, we might be going backwards. I don't know. Yeah. But expansion values are exploding. 24 to 26, there's 60 million, upwards of 100 million. I mean, that's next level growth in just a few years. Attendance is about 10,000 people per match, which is about what the WNBA is now, slightly more for WNBA. But the fans are diverse. They're young. They're very engaged. There's men, women, families, children. Just a good atmosphere to bring everyone to.
They're so boring.
No, and I think the National Women's Soccer League is where the WNBA was 5 years ago before their explosion. So I think they're just going to keep going up and up and up. There's currently
basketball's so quick. You're watching them up and down, up and down. I feel like soccer.
No, but there's timeouts. There's halftime. I mean, soccer gets a halftime, but it is non-action. And the fans are just rowdy, way rowdier than WNBA fans. There are currently 16 clubs as of 2025. Boston's a new club starting in 2026, Boston Legacy, and I'm obsessed with their logo. I don't know if you've seen it. So classy, so Boston. It's kind of a crest, and it says Boston at the top, and then there's a swan below it. And I just love it. So, and Atlanta will be the 17th team, which is just announced. So that's a new expansion team. Record fee actually for this, $165 million. The ownership group is AMB Sports and Entertainment, which is Arthur Blank's group. He's the owner of the Atlanta Falcons and Atlanta United, which is the men's team and one of the most successful soccer franchises in the U.S. I just think an expansion fee at this level signals investor confidence in the women's soccer market and what the value of the market is. So I'll be curious to see where it goes. I need to start following it more myself, and now you're going to be following it with me. We're gonna maybe we'll go to Boston. Maybe I'm just going to choose that as my team, and we're just going to go for it based on their logo and the fact that I love Boston. I think I'd move there tomorrow. Maybe I will. Want to come?
It's a little chilly, I hear. I guess we're getting on the Boston bandwagon, though. So.
Yeah. Yes. Go Boston. All right. We'll shift in this soccer realm, kind of. Brittany Mahomes.
Oof.
I know. So people question if she is one of the most influential WAGs, which means wives and girlfriends, to those that don't know. And by the way, I hate that acronym. How terrible does a WAG sound? Like, who says that?
It sounds like a dog.
There's nothing about that to me that goes with what these WAGs try to be and portray. I mean, somebody should change that branding because I just think it sounds terrible to say. Anyway, so people think that she might be one of the most influential in sports, and she moves between obviously NFL, celebrity, wife, and the women's sports business side of it, which again is by marriage. But some background on her, and then I want to get your thoughts. I know you're ready.
She got the money.
I know you're ready to rumble on this one. So you're ready to rumble. She, bringing this back to soccer, is one of the founding owners of the Kansas City Current and was involved in building the first women's only soccer stadium, which is CP SoFi Stadium, which is only used for specifically soccer and women's sports. Kind of cool. So before this, women's teams have always rented out MLS stadiums, other stadiums, practice on shared fields. Were never the priority for scheduling. So it is a big milestone to signal equal investment, not just equal messaging, all of that. Again, I love that she is involved in that. That's good progress. So backing it up even further, she met Mahomes in high school. They grew up in the same town. She played soccer at University of Texas at Tyler. I always thought she went to Tech, but I was mistaken. UT Tyler. Played in Iceland after college, and then she shifted focus back to fitness. She's partnered with many fitness brands, did a campaign with Mahomes and their children for Skims, promotes AG1 often on her social media, has over 2 million followers on Instagram, heavy mom following, does a lot of family content and tries to lean into that just as much as being a wag, quote unquote, and her fitness journey. Okay, now you can just jump right in.
No,
what you have to say about her.
Until you told me all of this, I genuinely had no idea she played soccer or was like a fitness influencer. I didn't follow her that well. I still don't follow her that much. But when I see her, fitness doesn't scream her name, you know? I referred to her as like the TikToking dancer with Patrick's brother that was very flamboyant, and I don't know. I just I was embarrassed for the two of them. And then Taylor Swift came in the picture, and then she was trying to be besties with her and like trying way too hard. And I don't think anything she does is well thought out.
I'm not the biggest fan. I think she acts like a complete nightmare. I do think she's toned down, and I don't know if that's
because Patrick was like, what
relevance or I'm sure he did. I'm sure somebody was like, for your own image, you need to get her under control. She was obnoxious. She just, to me, looked like she wanted to be the center of attention, spraying her champagne up in their suite. I mean, you know how to act. And if you don't, that's a massive problem. If you're on that level, of being, you're going to be in the spotlight if you're married to him. There was an instance where she was hating on the Bills fan. That was a big Bills fans. That was a major thing. To your point, so much of her and Taylor Swift, I'm so glad they got separated to different boxes.
I know. I think Taylor Swift realized what the hell she was doing.
Exactly. And she probably was like, okay, this isn't good for me either. And they haven't really been seen as much together. No. Like you said, it was just playing off each other. I understand Taylor trying to get into the culture of the Chiefs and trying to make friends with Travis's friends. I get that. But then obviously from her side, it probably was more about like, let me get in the spotlight. Let me be seen with Taylor, going to dinner, running around New York, doing this and that, just playing off each other a little bit. But I do respect her athletic side and getting involved in the business side of it. Again, specifically diving into the soccer aspect of it, but we could continue about her too. But I did find that interesting that she was so still heavily involved in soccer.
I have a friend that I played basketball with my entire life. She ended up playing D1 at Utah and then went over and played in Iceland. She coaches the professional team now. She still plays. I'm just comparing her to Brittany. And obviously, you got to respect the hustle. And to go over there and play is pretty commendable.
Anyone to have that experience and take advantage of it and do it. And even if it was a short career, you can still say you did it. And to play at a Division I school, no matter how many years you played or what happened in your career, you can still say you did it. And to have that experience is awesome. So
that speaks volumes.
Very cool. Moving on, Caitlin Clark teed off today for Annika Sorenstam's Pro-Am. We know that Kai Trump will make her debut this week too. She sunk a huge putt on number 10. Crowd went crazy. She was fist pumping the crowd, went wild, had a great drive on one. Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull, her teammates, are her caddies.
I love them. They are girls. Did you ever see that Sophie when she tackled JC Sheldon, I think her name was, on Connecticut?
For coming at Caitlin?
Yes. She was just playing super rough with her, and she just full on tackled her in the middle of the game, and they both got, escorted out. Sophie, she's like ex-Taekwondo, like triple black belt. Like I'm probably saying that very incorrectly.
Not to be
like she's
with.
Got some skills. I love to see them again continuing supporting her. But also, did you see the video of her teeing off last year, Caitlin Clark, on this same tournament?
Yes. So she shanks it like directly into the crowd.
Almost kills somebody.
Literally almost kills somebody. And then just kind of steps back and she's like, sorry. Very innocently.
I'm
didn't make like a,
player.
oh my gosh. Exactly. No, like big, oh my gosh, are you okay? Did I hurt you? Like, let me run over and check you. Like sometimes the players do when they hit into the crowd. No, she's like, Sorry,
She's like,
next.
who did that?
Exactly.
Wasn't me.
Yeah. I love it. But it
That's
was
awesome
fun to
hear.
see Sophie and Lexi cheering her on today. It looks like they just have so much fun together. A new PGA event was announced, the Biltmore Championship, to be hosted in Asheville, North Carolina, first time in 80 years, which is a 4-year deal. Jack Nicklaus designed a course, obviously using the Biltmore brand and Asheville as a destination to leverage, the tourism and local hospitality. It's supposed to be beautiful.
I have heard some incredible things about Asheville. I have not been. Have you been?
No, I have not been.
They announced a new PGA Tour tourney in fall 2026, and guess where it is?
None other than Austin, Texas, Barton Creek Country Club.
Barton Creek Country Club. Adam, we better be able to go.
Largest payout in women's sports history was last weekend with Elena Rybakina after winning the singles title at the WTA finals. $5.23 million defeating Sabalenka in the finals. That is a massive payday.
I mean, that's huge. Those Saudis, they'll pay.
I mean, imagine that for winning one tournament versus what the WNBA players are making per season. And that got me thinking, okay, everyone's complaining about what women athletes are getting paid in sports. Maybe you're playing the wrong sport because that is a big payday.
Again, you're tennis till you die. So that's an incredible payout. I definitely think it's well respected though, since she earned.
Very well respected. And tennis has been a sport that's obviously very heavy on equal pay, in the Grand Slams. So I do think, again, as far as sports go, I'll give it to tennis and WTA and ATP, everyone, coming together to make sure that there's a solid.
I know this
money
is kind of yeah. No, I know that's kind of old news, but how do you feel about like live golf?
I'm not a huge fan. I think it was much better when everyone was playing together. There wasn't so much, divisiveness. There wasn't so much, they're still trying to figure it out. So I feel like no one really knows what's going on. It split everybody up. It kind of took the topic off of golf and trying to grow the sport and just kind of made two totally different things that need to be put back together.
Well, you want to watch the best players in the world compete against each other. And you're not. You're watching two different, tournaments happening. And so it's a little frustrating. Also, I love golf because it's always been, like very classy and cool. And now they're blasting like rap music while they're teeing off. I'd be so distracted if I were them, like coming up from playing in a totally different environment. But that's
totally. And I from a TV side of it, I've never watched one live golf tournament.
No.
And I very, very much tune into PGA events. It's just so different. It's just not it for me. And I do see why. I mean, if I was on my way out or wasn't going to be the, top 5 in the world, I would have probably taken the money too. I totally get that.
That's why I brought up Saudi Arabia. Like they'll pay a tremendous amount of money.
They have a new format for this 2026 season, switching to a 72-hole format, which is 4 rounds of 18 holes instead of 3 rounds of 18, and then going to compete Thursday through Sunday. And the shift aligns more with the PGA format, which is more endurance, more strategy, kind of making it a longer event. So I don't know, but that still doesn't merge the two back together. Like, good job trying to make it like the PGA, just get it back. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
What are your thoughts about men and jewelry and athletes always setting these jewelry trends?
It's interesting because, like, you look back and you don't really see a lot of men wearing jewelry, but now you'll see them just decked out in their, like, diamond necklaces and their Van Cleef and their, Cartier. And it's like,
even non-athletes, it's starting to be more of a thing.
It definitely is.
Do you like that look? Like even just a guy on the street, like what do you think that should be a trend? Like people are trying to emulate what they see on athletes and then just wear it for, every day.
It's a little metro to me. I like it clean and simple. Put on a nice watch and maybe a bracelet or two, but I don't think you need to be stacking your Van Cleef.
Yeah, and speaking, LeBron stacks. I mean, stacks, like it's too much, but I totally agree. I think there's nothing better looking than, and not every guy can pull it off, but I do like a very nice watch and a couple bracelets, or just, a couple bracelets and
keep it clean.
I think it's exactly. But Dodgers shortstop Miguel Rojas got so much attention and has now started this trend and created such demand for wearing his blue and motif Van Cleef necklace. And he's been wearing the Van Cleef jewelry since spring training. Everyone started commenting commenting on it and seeing it during the World Series, which obviously it goes great for the Dodgers blue. And he said his wife got it for him. I thought that was so cute.
I was going to ask, do they like sponsor him? I feel like it's the brand's becoming bigger. And as I flash mine, thank you, Adam. But like I never saw them as athletes. I feel like they're very like fragile.
They are well, yes, and they're a little bit more dainty. Usually, you see the heavy gold chains or the thick diamond chains, or the more rope chains. But I do know they don't. His wife gave it to him. And LeBron, I have seen wearing Van Cleef. It was funny because I had gone in to Van Cleef the other day, and by the way, if you ever do go into Van Cleef here in Austin, I didn't even know they had it, but it's just this little tiny store in the back of Neiman's.
Oh, really?
I know. See, I didn't even really know it was there until like a year or so ago. But I was in there the other day, and the lady was saying how many. I deserve it.
I think you do.
And the lady was saying that she has had 3 customers come in, guys, since World Series asking for necklaces.
The
and
exact
bracelets.
same one?
Yes, not necessarily in blue. The green, she said the green was popular too. But I just thought that was so interesting. And I don't know about the necklace. That's a little much for me, but I do like the bracelets. That's good.
Yeah, I like simplicity. The big chunky ones, they would get in the way if I was playing sports, I can tell you that. So
I agree. I know some of the football players, it actually surprises me that they're allowed to wear them while they play. Jackson Darts, his little staple necklace with the little diamond hearts, he said it was his little sister's. And he went in a room before the 2025 Gator Bowl and saw it, and he put it on. He liked the look. And he wore it, won against Duke, and by 32 points, and said it was his good luck charm. I thought that was so cute, too. So his sister got another one, and his little brother, I guess, ordered one, too. So I thought that was sweet.
I guess I can't talk shit on that. So good luck charm.
Did you see Kris Jenner's Kardashian, I guess, 70th birthday Bond-themed party held at the Bezos' house?
I did, in fact, see every picture possible on social media of that. It's like the most publicly campaigned birthday party I've seen. And guess who was there?
Front and center, Meghan and Harry.
The people who want to keep it private.
People who want to keep it private. So then they were in photos of like carousel of, I think, Chris's photos and Kim's, and then they were later deleted. And so there's all this speculation about what could it have been. And some people are like, oh, well, maybe it was actually just the Kardashians didn't like the photos. And then it's like, well, the royal family is so disappointed in them and how tacky it is to attend a Kardashian party. Like that's why they asked them down. Oh, they want their privacy. Why would you go to her birthday party if you want your privacy?
Also, it was Veterans Day weekend, and you're celebrating something that's not even relevant. So I don't know.
I mean, just again, another swing and a miss. And Harry's sad apology that he was under duress and needed to pick a hat quickly. And he will not make the same mistake again of wearing an LA Dodgers hat. You will only see him in a Toronto Blue Jays hat. Everybody.
Oh, good. He was confused.
We were so worried. Yeah, he's
so
confused
all the time. I think he lives his life confused. So,
Oh gosh, poor Harry. I do feel bad for him.
Manipulated.
Yes. Back to sports. NCAA basketball. Your favorite world's tallest teenager on Florida.
Holy shit. Did you see him?
7'9". He's massive. Yes.
I mean, these college basketball players, like, they're not short, but they look like midgets next to him. I've never seen anything so tall. So I feel like he is going to be badass. Yeah, he's going to definitely make it to the NBA. So I'm rooting for him for sure.
I think he's one to watch. Pretty athletic. Definitely has potential. Some people are just so big that they can't quite
awkward,
move. They're awkward. It doesn't flow. He seems like he can do it all.
To see what happens with him.
Exactly. Get further into the season. NBA, Mavericks' Nico Harrison got fired after their rough start to the season, 3-8. Did you see? So there was actually a fan that flipped off Patrick Dumont at the first game of the season for trading Luka. He was mad, flipped him off. He has his family has season tickets a few rows behind where Patrick sits. So his dad saw the gesture and was like, if you want to go back to a game, you have to apologize. So the boy went back and he asked security the other day at the game, wearing Luka's jersey, by the way, his Lakers jersey. He asked security if he could talk to Dumont and ends up sitting courtside next to Dumont, who accepted responsibility for the trade. Yeah, and obviously the boy apologized, and there were just pictures everywhere. The internet blew up about him sitting next to Dumont with his Lakers jersey on talking. And then, what do you know? Next day, Nico gets fired.
The Mavs are probably happy about him getting fired, and the Lakers are bummed. now they're not going to benefit from his poor decisions. But yeah, that was to trade Luka. It's tough.
That trade is going to be lasting resentment for the fans.
It's
It's
like
widely
up and
criticized.
coming, badass player. Like, what in the heck were you
Talented,
thinking?
young, one of the best people on the team. Poor timing, a completely undervalued trade. Massive loss for the Mavs. And I think it'll take years for the fans to like kind of bounce back from it too and get over it. They're still chanting, fire Nico at games.
Yeah.
Like, there's some, like, obviously there's some internal criticism and whatever for him to get fired. The fans were not happy about it, obviously pointed things back to him and to Nico's like lack of front office experience and kind of the disruption it did have over the fans. And really, so his background is not in managing basketball in any capacity. So for 19 years.
So what the hell was he there for?
Exactly. For the prior 19 years, he worked at Nike. Isn't that
interesting? I had no idea. No, that's fascinating.
So he worked at Nike and North America basketball. He was obviously heavily involved in basketball and obviously knew basketball, but it's not like he worked his way up through another organization and landed himself at this position at the Mavericks. He was with Nike. So maybe he'll try to transition back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was in charge, but it was actually kind of funny. So Nico updated his Instagram profile to say "girl dad unemployed." Like, actually real thing. Yeah.
That's I don't know a lot about him, but that's pretty cringe.
Look it up. I saw some fake news headlines that actually got me memes, obviously. But it was his face and the Lakers logo. And it was like, Nico hired. Like making it look like he was hired by the Lakers. I was like, imagine.
Oh, God.
That would be a real plot twist for everyone.
We got LeBron and him. Like, tough.
Yeah. It did get me. I kind of have to like double click on things to make sure that they're not
real.
Fake news.
Yeah,
it's just like the headline.
They're getting good.
They're really getting good.
I read a whole article on, my Daily Mail news every single morning. I read a whole article and it was like, take the test to see if you can see if if this person's really AI or if it's like a real person. I got every single one wrong.
It's unbelievable.
I was like, holy crap, I'm really bad at this, or they're getting really good. So
really good. I mean, it's pretty incredible, the technology. More trouble for Brian Kelly. He filed a lawsuit against LSU stating that his termination was without cause. Poor Brian. I guess LSU changed their stance, initially saying the termination was based on performance. And then they later said that Kelly had not been formally terminated and that the for-cause clause may actually exist. So if fired for cause, the buyout obligation would be significantly reduced, which obviously that's not what he would want. He would want the full buyout. And I guess he turned down 2 offers.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
I think the 2 offers were around $25 million and $30 million, and he wants to seek the full amount of $54 million, which I'd fight it too, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, gotta be fair there.
Yeah. More Jordan Hudson in the news. Bill Belichick's daughter-in-law was in attendance at the UNC game and completely tried to avoid and kind of snub Jordan Hudson at the game. Imagine if she was going to...
Did you see the pictures? They were twinning.
They were absolutely...
Did they coordinate before and try to create chaos?
You know that if you're going in your closet to pick out your outfit and you choose white boots, the chances are probably 95% that Jordan's going to be wearing her bad white boots too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Where's a stylist? I don't know. But imagine if she was going to be your in-law, potentially.
I mean, I would have avoided her at all costs too. So it's just too embarrassing. It's a tough pill to swallow.
And then even worse, her diamond necklace with script that said banned.
I saw that. Did you? It was in diamond letters as she was like literally on the field. I mean,
just claim.
Yeah. Can you imagine Belichick on the sidelines, like when he was at the Patriots, in the middle of the playoff run and his 24-year-old girlfriend's on the sidelines? Like that would never happen. He became so soft and now she's just sitting there running everything. It's such a wild 180 for me on him.
Wild. Okay, my next question of the day for you is, what is 6'7"? My eyebrow girl the other day was telling me how her sons have all these words and they're like, gave me an example. And she's like, like 6'7". And I'm like, no, I don't know 6'7".
Okay, so it's funny you bring this up because on Sunday, we went to Easy Tiger with Casey and Kristen, our sweet dear friends, and they were talking about how they just were at the Texas game, and then all of a sudden, all these people were doing like this weird dance, and I was like, "What do you?" I was like, "Please never do that dance again." First off, and she was like, "No, like." I asked the kid in front of me what it meant, and the kid was very young. I think she's like 10 or something. And he looked at her like mortified and was just like, "You don't know what 6'7" means?" And she goes, "Nope, but I guess I got my answer." So no, I don't know what it means. I think it's just like a TikTok trend.
I think it really means nothing. And on game day, Saban, I guess, did the hand gesture that was kind of like, and with Mahomes and Pat McAfee, and they were all like laughing about it, and they're like, "Oh, 6'7", blah blah blah." Oh my God, they're even talking about it. So I think like 6'7", like, oh, I don't know, like, but obviously Saban didn't do that on purpose, kind of like juggling the hand movement, and they all like pounced on it immediately and are like 6'7".
I was also
no
watching.
Idea.
Well, now that like obviously you talk about something, it gets in your algorithm. So I was all of a sudden scrolling on TikTok, my favorite app, and then I saw a bunch of kids at In-N-Out, and the number 67 got called, and all the kids jumped up and were like, "Whoa!" I don't know what that is.
No, but I do think we'll be seeing more of it. And sad day for UCLA and the Rose Bowl. Good day for SoFi Stadium. I know. So they're set to move to SoFi Stadium in 2026. Crazy, but I thought it was actually very on point with what you had said about students having to get from campus to the stadium and how logistically hard it is, and how now moving the games to SoFi probably will really increase attendance. UCLA would have to buy out its current lease with the Rose Bowl, which would be out $60 to $80 million. I mean, bye-bye Rose Bowl. But that's a hard stadium to fill with 89,000 seats. And your UCLA.
This is like ludicrous for me. Like absolutely insane that they would even consider something so like absurd.
Just because of the history and tradition, or
the history, the tradition. I mean, Rose Bowl and like the Coliseum. I went to USC, so I have a little biasy, but those stadiums are football legacies. Classic. Everybody knows about them. Even if you like don't know too much about football, like you've definitely heard of those two stadiums. For them to move to SoFi for maybe like a convenience factor, or, I don't know if you've ever been to the stadium either, but it's super commercialized. It doesn't have that like old classic football feel
to SoFi.
SoFi.
Oh yes, I did. I went there, I guess maybe 2 years ago for a game, and
there's more screens than you know what to do with in there.
Massive, yeah. And I mean, it's just kind of cool that it's indoor, outdoor. It's well built. It's well constructed. But you're right. It's not. It is not the traditional old school classic Rose Bowl, bleacher seating.
I don't know. I just have a lot of opinions on that. I don't think it's the right call.
Well, we'll see. But having to buy out the lease is probably the least of their worries. It's no different than buying out a college coaching contract. You know what I mean? Like that's nothing for them. If they right, and if they see that the money is going to, and probably the suites are better and all of that. I do feel like longer term, other than the initial shock you're saying of tradition, I do think from a business perspective and people wanting the more not us necessarily, or people that that are used to that. But I think like, again, the younger generation that didn't grow up with that, I think they're looking for a newer venue.
These Gen Zers.
Although it's cool to not have as many followers. I sent you those 2 articles.
Oh, you did send that to me because
quality over quantity. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When you've got 4 million followers and 2,000 views, it just looks a little fake.
That's what the New Yorker tells us. Interesting stat. So Texas has been in the SEC for 18 months and is about to play Georgia for the 3rd time. A&M has been in the SEC for 14 years and has played Georgia 1 time in 2019. That is crazy to me.
I had to actually Google that and look that up to assure that you were giving me the correct stat.
Oh, you thought I was falsifying my facts?
Because it's so absurd. I was like, how
crazy.
Does that even make sense?
Crazy. That is going to be a crazy, crazy game. This is an important game this weekend for Texas and Georgia.
Yes. No. Who are you rooting for? I'm just kidding.
Oh, gosh.
Tough decision.
My brother said yesterday in one of our group chats with some friends, he's like, Lauren roots for whatever team is playing Texas that week. That's who Lauren roots for. And that's not always true, but I'm like, Georgia okay, fan. If you want to sum it up, go Dogs.
Oh, that's funny.
Goodness. And Ohio State, A&M, and Indiana, which still blows my mind, still undefeated this season.
Oh,
And
my
Indiana had
goodness.
wild.
I was going to say, did you see that Penn State game with Indiana?
Yes. Indiana's wins first road game against Penn State in school history. That was a massive win for them. Poor Penn State. Real downfall.
I just don't like Penn State. I was super excited to actually see Indiana win. It definitely keeps Mendoza still in like the play for the MVP. You know, it was pretty impressive. So we'll still be rooting for them.
Yeah. Texas A&M, and Texas Tech are all ranked in the AP top 10. Kind of crazy to think about. That's pretty strong for Texas. All of them have kind of been all over the board, it seems like, the past few seasons. So to have 3 of them in the top 10 is pretty good. Texas Tech, they had their good win over BYU. And they've collaborated with, I thought this was actually really different. They collaborated with Mahomes for their Too Cold uniforms, which sport his logo, Mahomes' logo. Obviously, he's the biggest athlete to ever come out of Texas Tech. Texas Tech gets the clout of having Mahomes' logo on their uniforms. Adidas gets the branding. Obviously, Mahomes is Adidas' biggest athlete. And he gets the nostalgia and the loyalty of Tech representing his logo. It's actually really kind of cool, but it's just unprecedented for an athlete's signature logo to go on the school's uniform. So I think it's similar. It is crazy. It's similar, but not the same as the Jordan brand, obviously, going on schools' uniforms, UNC, Michigan, Florida. But to me, that's a little bit different. I mean, the Jordan brand is so big. For Mahomes' actual personal logo on a smaller scale to be on there is pretty cool.
Again, it's Brittany and Jackson. He could thank for that, not him.
Totally, yeah. And then there's also LeBron with Ohio State. They get special Nike gear and LeBron collabs, but his logo doesn't go on the uniforms. Kevin Durant in Texas, he sponsors their basketball facility, but his logo isn't, his KD logo is not on the uniforms. Good for Mahomes, but very different. But I'm not a Texas Tech fan. To me, they're totally irrelevant. So
I have no idea where they are. So
you never have to know. It's a part of Texas that does not really matter, but good for them. So your USC Trojans had an interesting play.
On their Friday game, did you see that? There's some controversy behind it. I was a little confused.
So
everybody was freaking confused. The rest were confused. We had no idea what was going on. But and I don't love, I'm going to preface with I don't love this. It's kind of like sneaky. But what had happened was their third string QB, he lined up as the punter wearing jersey number 80. So he put a different jersey on. It was the same number as the punter. And it was a 4th and 6. They sent the punt unit out. And instead of a typical punt, the third string QB actually took the snap and completed a 10-yard pass to Hines, converting it to a first down. So, and that ultimately led to another touchdown, which again, we won Northwestern 38-17. But I still thought that was kind of not fair. I mean, again, it was fair, but I don't know. I thought that was a little cheesy.
Trick.
It wasn't my favorite thing of USC. But again, fight on. So we won.
R.I.P. Marshawn Kneeland. Poor guy of the Dallas Cowboys. That was just so awful. He literally had played a game and then the same week ended up taking his life with a gunshot. Just terrible. And
That's
obviously
really
he had
bad.
mental health issues. They were known. But just so sad to be that young, that talented, have so much opportunity and succumb to mental health issues. Just so sad. And for the family and the girlfriend and everyone and teammates, everyone involved.
I feel like there's more mental health issues that I hear about every day. So that's just really, really sad.
People say it all the time, you don't really ever know what somebody's going through, but that's exactly right. And I feel like mental health is one of those words that's a little bit overused, and I'm not putting lesser value on it. But at the end of the day, it is a word that can be used on a whole spectrum of things that people are going through. So it really is a massive, massive issue. There were some great team tributes over the weekend. And then the Cowboys players plan to wear a little decal in remembrance of him on their helmets for the rest of the season, which I thought was a tasteful touch. And they had a bye last week, which was probably timely just to give them time to process and all of that. So that's too bad. Colts won in overtime against the Falcons in Berlin. Our girl is still coming through.
Okay, first off, Berlin. I hate all these teams are playing in different countries. How do you feel about that?
We talked about it before. The NFL is trying to put so much into expanding internationally their markets, and obviously not to expand to teams internationally. I do think that there are a lot of fans based in other countries, and I think it's just a different way for them to mix it up, different revenue stream, and they actually get a good response. So I think it's kind of cool. There are people over there that want to attend the games. Why not?
I don't know. For Europeans, they don't strike me as people that are going to go eat hot dogs and drink beer. They drink a lot of beer at their soccer games, but
I think it's the same as the same fans as the soccer fans. I think they just like the sport. And again, the viewership is increasingly going up and up, around the world. What I don't think players probably don't like the travel. That's the only thing that I can think. Our girl Carly was at a bar and brought out her megaphone and bought a round of drinks for the fans. I love it.
She's boots on the ground. Good for her.
Boots on the ground. And I, like we said before, totally respect it. I think she's well liked. You don't hear anything bad about her. You hear people questioning, what she's doing and what she's trying to accomplish. The other day in an interview, she's like, about a trade. She was like, do you want to put a Band-Aid on something or do you want to fix it? And I'm like, okay, that's exactly right. If you got to make a move. And she's totally hands-on, finding the problem, and we've said before, there's so many things involved for a team losing or somebody not making the play. And she's like, I want to know where that starts. Like, who was talking to who that said the wrong thing? Like, it might not have been the person on the field. Like, maybe it was the play call that was wrong, whatever. She's like, I want to know where the breakdown happens.
Well, she would have never known that if she wasn't there. So good for her.
Right, and didn't have her headsets on. So, yes, good for her. Trump became the first commander-in-chief to attend a regular season NFL game since 1978, which was against the Commanders and the Lions. And an insane flyover with Air Force One. Did you see that? If I was ever going to see a flyover, I think it would have been that one. I think it would be so cool to see Air Force One fly that closely over the stadium.
I know. I always see videos of it when they're on the tarmac at some random airport, but I would love to see it in person. So
yeah, so cool. And he joined in the commentating booth for a little bit. And I was like, hold on. Let me see if he actually knows what he's talking about in football. And he was like, they need to score a touchdown. They need to score a touchdown right here. I'm like, they're losing by 40 points. Yes, they need to score a touchdown. They're literally I know you're invested, but he's like, they've got to score right here. I'm like, there's not enough time in the game for them to even possibly come back, but I thought it was nice that he was trying to be involved.
No, I was going to say, media moments don't equal wins, unfortunately, but that was quite the stage for the Commanders. I just wish it was right before when Sam just played them. So
I know. I guess it just overlapped, obviously, because of Veterans Day, and that's why he was there, which was cool. But Lions absolutely crushed. Dan Campbell took over the play calling. Everyone had their say about that too. But if you're the head coach of a team, you should be able to play call and know what you're doing and try something different like he wanted to do. And he did it well. So maybe we'll see more of that. Everyone loved him pulling out his glasses. One of their players were like, I've only seen him in his glasses maybe one or two times.
So, he's getting down to business.
He looks so official. Yeah, exactly. But good for the Lions. And yeah, we know that Trump wants the stadium. They're getting their new stadium, and he would like it to be named after him. Of course he does.
Oh my
Why not?
God. They're rebuilding the East Wing of the White House. And
you mean tearing it down and reconstructing?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, semantics, but he wants to name it Donald Trump Ballroom or something crazy. I'm like, this is just so typical. It's actually comical.
Yeah, and poor Melania is like, I'm warming up to the idea. She's like, I liked my little office. I'm like, sweet Melania.
It's just completely demolished.
Completely demolished. So, yes, classic Trump. And then my favorite, said to be a meme, absolutely not a meme. Mike McDaniel driving by the Elbow Room, which is a very popular bar in Fort Lauderdale. Where Buffalo Bills fans, I guess, gather when they're in town. So after the Dolphins won, which thank God they did, it maybe saved his job for a little bit. There was a picture of him at a stoplight on the corner by the bar in his matte black car, his watch hanging out the window. And there was a Bills fan on the corner in the Bills jersey. Completely looked like AI. So then Tyreek starts commenting commenting on it, oh, coach is back to his stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then Mike McDaniel, of course, I love him. I think he's absolute character. I do not see him as a head coach, but obviously he's been very successful for the most part, minus this season. And I think he is just so funny with his capris and all of that. But anyway, so in an interview, they're like asking about it. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I kind of miss, the good old days. He's like, but that's pretty detailed. He's like, I do live in that area. He's like, AI is real. And then 100% with him. Like then I saw an actual video.
I wasn't there.
It was 100% him, and it was 100% like. Then I saw a video, of course, on TikTok that was like actually the car moving with him in it. It wasn't just like the car at the stop sign. I don't know.
Again,
unless maybe it was another car.
Back to the Daily Mail, episode or the Daily Mail article I read today. They get very tricky.
Well, I know, and then I'm thinking, well, was the window up or down when I saw the video was up? So anyone could have popped him into the window with AI. So it was so funny. Like we can either confirm or deny, but I thought that was hilarious, and he just handled the interview exactly how Mike McDaniel would handle it. Typical fashion. So Giants have fired their head coach, which about time. And who is going to fill that spot? Do we think Jordan Hudson and Belichick are going to head north?
I was reading that potentially that could be an option, but it sounded like he gave pushback when somebody tried to ask him, and he said he's committed to UNC right now. So unfortunately, we won't see them there. But I think Lane Kiffin could be a better.
I know he's a top
candidate.
contender. Mm-hmm. He's up there mentioned, but I have a hard time seeing him leaving Ole Miss. I think he's going to try to flip that program and just win championships and kind of make that his like Saban of Alabama.
He's definitely gotten a big name over there right now. So I want that to continue for sure.
Yeah. And then my next guy I would love to see up there is John Gruden. I just like him. I think he is such a character, longtime good coach, still kind of stays relevant, obviously, in football. So it'll be very interesting to see who lands that. And then update on Mark Sanchez. I think it's really interesting that we haven't heard much about that story progressing. I mean, it kind of went silent. So he was finally fired by Fox and replaced by Drew Brees. I'm surprised took him this long to fire him. And I'm sure they have to do their own investigating. And like we know with all the other contracts, you have to go by the contract of your process to fire and not have things backfire at you. But I'm really shocked it's taken this long for them to fire him and replace that spot.
Again, like this was so out of character for him. They were probably like, what the hell? Like, were you just completely drugged? And unfortunately, it wouldn't be a good look for Fox to keep him. I'm sure they were doing a lot of investigating in the background just to figure out what happened. It sounds like they're going to replace him with Drew Brees, which I know you guys may be a big fan coming from Austin.
Yeah, homegrown hero around here. Go Shops. Yeah, went to Westlake.
Did he play at Westlake? Okay,
yes,
yeah.
Went to Westlake. One of the few schools that have had, two quarterbacks go to the NFL. Nick Foles is obviously as well, and do well. They actually recently retired
did Baker Mayfield, right?
He was like Travis. Yes, also Austin.
Sorry.
Yeah, but not Westlake.
Not tonight.
No, I know. That was good, though, that he's from here. But they recently retired his number at a home game a couple weeks ago. But surprised it's taken this long, and so now probably Nick Foles is up next. Kind of cool. Good that he's filling that spot. And our weekly picks.
Oh, boy.
This is where you shine best. Give it to us. Jets versus Patriots.
It's a Thursday night game. Aren't the Patriots debuting their nor'easter uniforms?
Yes. They look
I heard they're
so
gonna be
cool.
badass.
The coloring's great. There's kind of an old school N-E on the sleeve cap. Helmets are great. Just a really cool blue. It's not their kind of usual deep blue. It's a little bit, or navy blue. It's a little bit more muted. Very cool.
Okay. Very, very cool. So I'm going to go Patriots then.
They're not going to lose the game in those uniforms against the
Jets. No, that would be embarrassing. Come on.
Exactly.
Do better.
Yeah, do better. Commanders versus Dolphins.
The Commanders quarterback is hurt. Dolphins QB just beat the Bills. I guess I'll try to ride the Dolphins. They're also playing in Spain, though, which, again, I don't know if that's the time zone fatigue that's all going to fit in, but I'm gonna go Dolphins.
All right. Let's see what Mike McDaniel comes up with. Packers versus Giants.
Well, as we know, the Giants just fired their head coach. Packers only scored 7 points last game. So anything can happen, but I'm going to go with Packers.
Terrible game, by the way, for the Packers last game.
Well, as we know, the Giants just fired their head coach. Packers also only scored, 7 points their last game. So it sounds like anybody's game, but I'm going to go Packers.
All right. That'll be in New York, so we'll see. Texans versus Titans.
Well, The Titans are the worst team in the league, so I'm going to go Texans.
Panthers versus Falcons.
Panthers just for fun.
I like it. Florida Panthers. Bears versus Vikings.
I don't trust JJ McCarthy, so I'm taking the Bears.
I feel like the Bears and the Vikings have both had some wins that I didn't expect, like the Vikings beating the Lions. Like obviously I wanted the Lions to win, but I truly didn't think that they would win, the Vikings, and they did. And then Bears, same thing. They've had games they've won that I'm like, absolutely how? So, okay, we'll go Bears. That'll be a good game. Chargers versus Jaguars.
Aren't the Chargers just like all hurt? Isn't Justin Herbert getting beat up? I don't know. I think I'm going to go Jags this one.
Bucks versus Bills.
It's snowing up in New York right now, so I'm going to go Bills.
In fact, did you know that in Florida, because I was checking the weather there for this week, and
weren't you supposed to go?
I was supposed to. When the temperature falls below like 40 degrees, the iguanas get stunned. So they like freeze. So there's iguanas obviously all over in South Florida. And so when it gets below these temperatures, I think Tuesday morning was the coldest temperature in a very long time in South Florida. So the iguanas like fall down from the trees.
Those like legit iguanas just laying everywhere.
They're like just stunned. And again, back to our AI, I had seen that as a heading and I'm like, okay, maybe that's not. I'm like, no, that's actually true. Like, that's straight up a fact. When it gets under a certain temperature, they get stunned. So there you go. Your Florida fact So to your point, the Bucks might go up there and be stunned because it's going to be sub 40
like, holy crap, what's this?
In Buffalo. Yes. But I think there is nothing more beautiful than football in the snow. It is like the most peaceful, most beautiful thing. Scenes from Buffalo, games in the snow, Lambeau with the snow, Denver at times in the snow. I think it's just magical.
Quintessential. I love it.
Is that a beautiful way to say it?
That was very majestic. Yeah, that was great.
Thanks. Bengals versus Steelers.
So the Steelers' last performance was pretty tough. Aaron Rodgers, I think, played like ass. But they're playing
to retire.
Give it up, dude.
It's time.
But again,
go back to your like chamber and. Remember where he like locked himself in like a chamber?
This guy is one of the most tragic people I've heard of. But anyway, I hate to say it. They're playing in Pittsburgh, so I'm going to go Steelers.
Go Steelers. 49ers versus Cardinals.
It seems like the Cardinals got the life sucked out of them by the Seahawks. So I'm going to go 49ers.
Okay. Seahawks versus Rams.
This is going to be a really good game. I think this is matchup of the year. No Ram. I want to go Rams, but I'm gonna go Seahawks again just for Sam Darnold.
Go Sam. Yeah, we're gonna stay true to him. I agree. Seahawks.
Yeah.
Chiefs versus Broncos.
Broncos offense sucks, so I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs. Ravens versus Browns.
Ravens have some work to do now that Lamar is back, and they definitely can't afford many more losses if they want to make the playoffs. So I'm gonna go Ravens.
The Ravens. Lions versus Eagles.
Lions in Philly would be badass.
Lions in Philly would be pretty good. I mean, fly Eagles fly. So not a fly Eagles fly, but
what the hell was that?
Something about the Eagles winning this week sounds good.
Very prideful.
Yeah. I like the culture of the Eagles. I do.
Okay.
And the fans, and they're angry, and it's going to be cold, but Lions are used to that. I think that the Lions I think it'll be a good game, but for some reason I kind of want the Eagles, but just depends.
We'll have to circle back next week and see what happens.
Exactly. We'll circle back. Cowboys versus Raiders.
It's hard to pick the Raiders against anyone because even the Cowboys are garbage, but I'm going to go Cowboys.
America's team. Wow. Maybe it's going to be the game of the week.
Hopefully
America's
something
game
will come
of the
out
week.
Of it, so.
Wow. Well, the Cowboys
you heard it
could
here first.
Yeah, exactly. Cowboys could use a win after their loss of a teammate and their bye week, and hopefully they come back and ready to go. So go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. A lot to go through today. It was fun.
Lots of fun, podcasting. I think this was our 5th podcast now. So
life of the podcasters.
We're professionals.
Yes. And we look forward to more. We do have some exciting guests coming up. We'll have Cam Avery from Tame Impala. He's touring right now, but that'll be a good one.
They just put out some bangers.
Yes. And he's, interestingly enough, a scratch golfer. So he's very into golf, has a lot of different, things going on off the course. So he'll be a good one for everyone to learn more about.
Musician / golfer. That's quite
Exactly.
the dynamic duo there. So
Very, yes. Well, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, comment, reach out to us with what you want to hear. We're going to keep our
repost,
followers low because that's what's cool.
quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity. No bots here.
No.
All right, everyone.
We have the money to buy
week.
them, but we're not going to do it.
Exactly. Exactly. Bye.
That's all.